our first improv episode.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hey yo.
So today we have like two gaming exercise kind of things. We actually got these from our improv class from our professor Jenna Nielsen, so shout out to you.
Jenna.
We don't have a name for these, so we just call them A and B story exercises.
Jenna, if you know what they're called, let us know.
Please, yes, please. So the first game, you have two people in both of the games actually. You have A and B.
Stirred up.
Who wants to be A? Who wants to be B?
I'll be A. I'll be
A,
A.
B. Okay, so A
There's
is
a hole
going.
in the trousers, oh my goodness.
Why would I
Welcome to an uncut episode of Bottom of the Barrel.
Yeah, this is gonna have really minimal editing, so.
Enjoy this.
Just
So
please.
Yeah.
partner A is going to tell
Like
a
this.
story.
See? Please.
Partner A is going to tell a story. It's going to be any kind of story they want to tell.
It took me a while to realize.
And partner B is going to, every 10 to 15 seconds, interrupt with a word. Partner A must take that word and incorporate it into their story to create a very weird, fluent story. So yeah, that's going to be fun. We're going to have them try that.
We're gonna have an audience as well.
Woo!
These two, if that.
Yeah, they're the audience as well as you guys. We care deeply about our fans.
Yes.
Also, why we're profiling to you instead of just being like, hey.
Social distancing.
I like that we went close and they're like, ah. All right.
Again.
Once upon a time, there was this little boy named Johnny. He wanted a light so badly. Yes, Johnny! He wanted a light so badly that he traveled across the entire world. Keep in mind, he's only 14, so you know.
Licorice.
His favorite dessert was licorice sticks, so he packed a huge gallon bowl of those in his little backpack, and he started traveling across the world. He's eating his licorice all along the way.
Iron.
Finding some iron randomly, kind of like Minecraft. He's just like grabbing it, putting it in his bag, and he's eating his licorice in the meantime. He makes like a helmet from the iron somehow too. Randomly, he just stumbles across this person with black eyes named Herobrine. He offers him some iron and some licorice, and Herobrine's like, "You're pretty cool. I'll leave you." He finds this dog along the way. He feeds it like 4 licorice sticks, which in Johnny's mind, that's a lot, so this dog better love him. And it does, you know?
Funeral.
On his travels, he gets a message delivered to him, and it's for Herobrine's funeral. He has to travel all the way back to Herobrine's home, attend his funeral, and he talks to Herobrine's son, the sun, that spherical thing in the sky, and says sorry that, you know, your dad's dead. Your dad. What?
River.
Okay, just making sure. And they send Herobrine's casket down the river. They light it on fire. Johnny gave some licorice sticks to the casket, and they let it on fire. It hits an iceberg like the Titanic, and it starts sinking into the ground. So that was weird, you know, just a casket hit an iceberg, and it started falling like the Titanic.
Volcano.
And then all of a sudden, Herobrine's ghost rises from the river and causes a volcano to appear from there. And Johnny's like, I better please this god. So he tosses his dog and some licorice inside of it.
That's a really good stopping point.
That was good.
Alright, so that's how it works. So now I'm gonna be A.
Yes.
So I'm gonna start a story. Alright. So this guy, Richard, his friends, you know, call him Dick, as one does with, you know, when your friend's name's Richard, call him Dick. It's a nickname. Don't ask me why. So Richard, or Dick, we'll call him Dick. Dick's out, and he's like mowing his yard. He's really proud of his yard. And suddenly, you know, he bumps into this like pile of wood that he forgot he had chopped yesterday. He's a very manly man. He doesn't wear a shirt very often, just like out sweating, chopping wood. So he hits it with his lawnmower, and it just shreds the wood, and who?
Galaxy.
Shreds it, and he's like, wow, this is the strongest lawnmower in the entire galaxy. So he puts another piece of wood and he lifts the lawnmower up, like you do to pull it back so it doesn't get stuck in anything. And he just puts it down on the wood, shreds it like it's nothing, like a wood chipper, but it's a lawnmower. And he's like, oh my God, and suddenly he gets smacked in the back of the head, turns around, the Lorax. And he's like, hey, quit that. And he's like, but the lawnmower is so powerful,
Banana.
I must feed it bananas. And the Lorax is like, bro, chill, seriously. But it's too late, Dick already went, got the banana. He peeled it for some reason, it's a lawnmower, I don't know why he did this. And he puts the lawnmower up, and he gives it the banana, and the Lorax is mortified, right?
A bear.
So the Lorax is like, oh my God, I can't let this lawnmower exist. It's gonna destroy the forests because I speak for the trees, and I can't have that. So he dials up his friend. He's like, hey, bear, I need your help. And a bear comes over, and he's like, hey, Dick, what you doing? Squares up on him like that. You know how bears like stand when they're angry? Like 8 feet bigger than Richard's house. He's a pretty short guy if I didn't mention that. Really jacked, but like 4'2". So the bear squares up with him, like 8 foot tall bear, 4'2" guy. Dick picks up the lawnmower and just like, no more bear. It's crazy. He's like, this lawnmower is a god.
A robe.
What?
A robe.
A robe. This lawnmower is my god now. So he kicks the Lorax in the nuts, and he makes this robe, and he puts it on. He's starting a cult with this lawnmower. So he's going to be the leader of this cult. Event. So he starts this cult, and he ties the Lorax up, and he has an event. He crawls through a vent, and he's like, hey, guys, I'm having a meeting for my new cult. He doesn't call it a cult, he calls it a religion, because that's what everybody that starts a cult does.
Iron.
So he's at the meeting, right? It's started, and he goes, this is the most powerful lawnmower in the galaxy, I'll show you. Picks up a giant block of iron, took him like 8 or 9 iron to make, like Minecraft, that's pretty logical. Clunks it down,
Wiring.
and then just, and the lawnmower breaks, and the wiring was faulty, so the wiring just like explodes, and the lawnmower only gets like halfway through the block of iron, which is still impressive, by the way. But so he's halfway through, and it explodes, and everybody's like, boo, what the hell is this? And they start throwing potatoes at him. They live in a village where most of their sustenance comes from potatoes. Blaze?
No, like a shoelace.
Lace.
A shoelace.
So he's getting pelted with potatoes, and the Lorax has, while this is happening, while he's tied up, undone the rope he was tied with because it was a shoelace. Really poor choice of restriction, if you couldn't tell it's a shoelace. So he unties it, and he comes and he just decks Dick, and he's like, hey, you need to stop with this lawnmower. And he picks up a clock, and he just right on his head. And then they buried Dick with his well-beloved lawnmower. And then the Lorax grew a tree on it, because, trees and the Lorax. So, there you have it for the first part of this. Now, Amberly, who's sitting there, not there, Amberly and Olivia are going to do the second part.
Woo!
Woo! Let's get it.
Woo, woo. All right, so as I said before, the second part of this is basically the same thing, but just a little different. So, partner A, Amberly, matches, is going to tell half of a story, around 30 seconds to 40 seconds, and I'm going to tell another half of a story, but it's going to be a completely different story. And partner A, Amberly, has to then combine both of our stories into a wonderful ending.
I smacked my elbow.
So glad that is like him.
All right, so let's go. Okay.
Let's go.
3, 2, 1, commence.
There once was a dog.
A dog.
A dog named Scruffy.
What a good name.
Scruffy was a city dog. The city dog.
Was he born and raised in South Detroit?
Not South Detroit. So the city dog, he loved to get into the hot dog cart, He's a homeless puppy, so he likes food. So he will kidnap the hot dogs, not kidnap the hot dogs from the hot dog cart. And he's always very hungry. And he really needs an owner. So he always looks for owners near the hot dog carts. And he never can find an owner. And it's really sad. But he loves his hot dogs. We're ending it there.
Cool, sounds like it's Olivia's turn. Go.
So one time, there was a girl in New York, and she had a really thick accent, so nobody could really understand her like that. But it's okay, because you know what, her teachers were like really trying to get on her about her grades and stuff, and her mom was like, you need to go to school, like go every day, not just once a month, like that's not okay. And so,
Guys,
homie's really stressed out, like she's on her way to the library trying to research, do some studying to finish some finals, get good grades. She gets there and she's like tripping out because one, the door is like on the second floor, but there was like no stairs and there wasn't an elevator to get in there. So she's like, how am I supposed to get in there? And so she's like looking like, homie, is there another entrance? Like, what am I supposed to do? So she's walking around the building and she sees like smoke coming out of this back entrance. So she like opens the door and smoke hits her and she's like coughing. She's like airing her ways out, you know, trying to look. She looks and it's just like
Switch.
All right, Amberly will now combine the stories through pure brain power.
so, give her a name. Rosa was running away from this library because it's on fire. You're not going to stay near it. Like, duh.
Screw everybody inside. And the final.
Yeah. My life's at stake. She ran from the fire, and she eventually gets to a hot dog cart. She's like, I've been ready for a while. I'm going to get some food. So she buys a hot dog, and of course, Scruffy comes up and is like, a friend. And he...
Bark.
He
said, bork. He roll up and be like, so.
Scruffy, of course, is like, I know how to steal a hot dog from this place. But Rosa's like, wait, I can buy you hot dogs. So she just buys him like 3 hot dogs and feeds Scruffy. And eventually they become best friends and they have a lot of adventures in New York City.
Oh, wow.
And he helps her pass her classes.
Oh, dog tutor, let's go! Let's make it a movie!
Dog talks, dog doesn't bark but knows calculus, yes. Yes.
Dog be like, give me that hot dog and I'll do your homework for you.
Give me that hot dog and y/mx plus b equals c squared.
Wow. Well, Scooch. Well, that does it for that exercise. This episode is a lot more of a jumping off point for us into this. So if you have any suggestions, we'd love if you comment, and we also plan on next time and hopefully every time we do an improv episode having guests.
Boom!
Yes.
So next week for sure we'll have guests.
2 more.
And absolutely as we go on, we're going to try to have a guest or 2 or 3 or 4 or as many as people can come
Yep.
within insert virus here regulations. But yeah, like, subscribe, ring that bell, comment any questions for the podcast, any suggestions for improv games for this.
Yeah.
And on that note,